something happened at Summer Jam. So a brawl broke out at the Summer Jam. This was.
You don't know the story?
I know the story, but I want you to say the story.
I asked could I come to Summer Jam. I put out an album, Cocktails. First album I put out when I moved to Atlanta. The first single was Cocktails. Detroit, Chicago, video, radio play, everything. Houston, Dallas, it's out there. The Bay won't play the song. So I'm calling KMEL because now you gotta do the history. KMEL was a rock and roll station that played heavy metal. The camel, KMEL,
right.
The fucking camel that's on the cigarettes was the fucking logo, and it was heavy metal. It was fucking stoner music. And they decided to change the format. When they changed the format to hip hop, R&B, and all that shit, they called me through Lionel B. And they're like, Ken Short, come to some events of ours, Summer Jam type shit, and help us bring the community to the station. So I was doing things for KMEL to bring listeners and bring people to their events and to help the camel not be the camel anymore and be KMEL. And I felt like, I was like, man, I got that call and I've like helped y'all become who you are. And first of all, you're gonna play a record that dissed me. I thought that was foul. Secondly, you're not gonna play the next record I put out. And you know what they said to me? They said, we can't play your record because we're really into supporting our local artists and you moved away. And we figured like out of sight, out of mind. That's the lame ass response I got. So I asked, they never played Cocktails. I asked, well, is it possible, can I just come be a guest at the Summer Jam? I knew what I was gonna do. They were like, sure, man, you bring 4 people. So we get up there.
How many people you bring?
I brought like 40, but they gave me four passes. And it was, probably to this day is the reason why they don't do stick-on passes anymore. But they gave me the 4 stick-ons. 4 of us stick them on. We walk all the way down the hill, and we give one dude all 4 passes, and he take them back out. 4 dudes come down. 1 dude goes out. 4 dudes go down. 1 goes out. By the time the whole mob was there, you could just feel the energy, and it's just like we just looking around. We there for broken bones, and here come the loonies. They just got off stage, and I had said, I was like, dude, we're not here to fight y'all. We ain't even mad at y'all. It ain't nothing like that. I just want you and me, y'all and me, to go out in front of that crowd and say, ain't no beef. That's all I want. And they like, man, shut up, man, you the big homie. We love you, man. It wasn't us, man. We ain't know that. They wanted us. They was like, why don't y'all just go talk to Chris. So now we got, it's an incident now. Everybody's around. They like, man, come on, Short, don't do this. The people, the Summer Jam people, the KMEL people, I got Lionel B. I'm like, well, look. Let us talk to Chris then. Let's just, I want some motherfucking apologies and I want the people to know that this shit ain't real. So they put us in the back room with Chris. Everybody don't know the whole little details of the story that Chris had been fucking some chick that one of my homies who came in the powwow meeting room, they was fucking the same girl. And the girl had told the other homie way before that day that when Chris be over here, he be calling you broke and whack and talking bad about you. We call it pillow talking. So you pillow, that's some fucked up kind of hating. When y'all sharing the same pussy and you in there telling the pussy, fuck that other nigga you fucking. And both y'all know that y'all go over there and hit the same pussy. So he had a little personal thing. Like it's my homie. He's one of them one of those people that like to fight without arguing. So he just get mad at you and start hitting you. One of those kind of people. So he's in the room being quiet. And we just talking, and Chris is telling me the story I just told you about, man, the thing that happened with the pieces, man, they looked up to you, man, they feel like you just shitted on them, and they just said the one line, it ain't really like that, man, they really like you, and I talked to the loonies, and they really was like, man, sure, you the big homie, like, whatever. So my homie, Chris, is talking, and the homie go, that's all beside the point, that ain't even what the fuck it's about. And then Chris couldn't get too many words, and he just, bam, just hit him, knocked him down, and he kicked him in the side, and then we like, man, let's get the fuck out of here. And then Lionel B was outside the room protecting the door so nobody would come in on the meeting. But it just seemed like he walked Chris in for an ass whooping. It was a setup. If you ever hear Chris' story, you're like, man, they all set me up. They set me, I walk in the room, it was more of them than me, and they, kind of was like that, but at the same time, it wasn't gonna be a fight if it wasn't for the pillow talking. So that was the one punch. So then I was feeling kind of satisfied, but they weren't gonna let me and the loonies address the crowd and squash it. They kind of, media kind of liked that shit. They was feeding off that shit. So we go out in the crowd, and this is where the rumors start. We go out in the crowd, we walk around the crowd, and we go down to where, as like, I don't know, we probably branched off in like 2 groups or something. We ain't them kind of dudes that just like mob all the time. So we go to watch the show. I think I saw like New Edition or somebody performed, and it was only people left was E40 and the Isley Brothers. And they said, show's over. Next day, it's Monday morning, radio station. My phone started ringing early in the morning. The first call I got was E40. He was like, what's up? I'm like, what? He's like, man, just tell me that wasn't you. Just tell me it wasn't you. I'm like, what? He was like, you on the radio right now saying, talking bad about me. I'm like, I'm at home in bed. So we do our investigation. KMEL has somebody on, they on a Too Short campaign on the air that morning. It's going like this. Too Short came to Summer Jam with a gang of people, start jumping motherfuckers, ran to the stage and said, if I can't perform, ain't nobody performing. So we had to shut down the show. The reason why you didn't get to see E40 was because of Too Short. The reason why you didn't see the Isley Brothers was because of Too Short. And they like, we got him on the phone right now. So somebody calls on the phone and go, yeah, that's right. Oh, you know, it's just Short. Fuck that, all that shit. If I wasn't getting on, wasn't nobody get on. I don't care if your name was E40, E1000. All of us said, now, mind you, 40 spent out of his pocket thousands of dollars for a special stage set. First time he was ever gonna get to stand in front of 15, 20,000 people in the Bay. It was a big deal for him. And they sit there and not knowing that E40 in the 80s was a dope dealer, and that the same dudes that rode with me forever in a day was the dudes that used to sell dope to 40. That way before 40 got famous, we all used to hang out in Vallejo and Oakland, just hanging out, smoking and kicking it. And we like had a friendship that we're not gonna jump to conclusions. So we get to the bottom of it. It was a prank call, and you know, the campaign is on. They sent out faxes and emails to stations all over America saying, don't ever support Too Short ever. He's a thug, he's violent, he stabbed somebody, all kind of shit, man. And they considered themselves banning my career. You're banned, you're blackballed. KMEL, same motherfuckers I helped blackball me. So my first thought was, me and 40 was like, we had never done a song with each other. We're like, all right, man, we're gonna show these motherfuckers who we are. We're gonna do a song together. We did a song, Rapper's Ball, which became a big hit. And my first thought was, how the fuck a artist who barely gets any video play, any radio play, how can a radio station ban an underground artist? I wanna see this shit happen. Like my fans don't listen to the radio to hear me. And I went to war with KMEL. I went in the studio, made an album. I made a fucking song called That's Why the Town Got Really Short, because that was the line. And you go listen to that song right now. If you want to know the story in rap form, the same story I'm telling you is in that fucking album. It's on the fucking, I think it's on album number 10. I put out the song Getting It, and the other station, 107, was getting their ass kicked by 106. And I don't know if they had moved, it was 94.9 in or whatever the fuck I think they were still 107. It was KSOL, yeah. And Getting It came out. They played that motherfucker 3 times an hour. And the Bay loved Too Short, they love me. And the fucking, the people was probably listening to Getting It over and over again. Because it was one of the biggest records I ever had. They played that motherfucker so much that KMEL called me. They came with a solution. I was like, I want the record play the record. I ain't no hard feelings, whatever. They're like, well, we got stipulations and all this shit. So Sway spearheaded the way I could get back in the station. Come up to the Sway and Tech morning show. The Looney's gonna come through. Too Short gonna come through. The same shit I've been asking for the whole time. And we're gonna get on the air and tell all the listeners that never was no beef, ain't no beef, it's all love, and then we're gonna play Getting It. And that was the end of that shit. But the one chick, Michelle, whatever her last name, she hated me. She was the program director at the time. And I would probably, man, if she would have got to know me, I probably would have gave her some good ass dick, because she was kind of sexy. Bitch.